All right, K1 versus K3, which is better? For some reason, okay, so we've all been at home during the pandemic, and I think that in some ways that's been good. In a lot of ways, that's been hard. And one of the things people have been doing with their immigration cases is trying to unearth secret strategies that maybe will help them skip this whole process. And I don't blame you at all because it's a terrible process and it's taking longer and longer and it's super frustrating and it's not efficient at all. So I completely understand, and I am married to an immigrant and have been through the process myself. I totally get why we all have that impulse to look for, there must be a better way. Surely the situation can't be that I have to wait a year or two just to be with my fiance or spouse. That just seems totally ludicrous. It is totally ludicrous. But unfortunately, a lot of these alternate theories that people are unearthing are just things that simply don't work right now. So the K1 visa is specifically for fiancés. If you're already married, you can't get a K1 visa. But the thing about K1 visas is that based on the way that they're processed, some of the processing actually happens inside the United States after the person enters on the K1 visa. So even though over the last several years and decades even, the processing times for K1s and the processing times for spouse visas have varied a lot, but typically the K1s are always a little bit faster than the spouse visas. It's just, based on the way that they're processed, they're faster in the sense, not of the entire process, but they're faster to get the person actually into the United States. So the fastest way to get your person you love in the United States, if you're not married, is typically to file for a fiance visa, even though then you have to do a lot more processing once they're in the US that you wouldn't have to do if they were a spouse. Why does this matter? So basically, at some point, Congress said it seems really unfair that you would let fiancés come faster than people who are literally already married. That's really crazy. I mean, I think that's totally bizarre, right? You guys probably agree with me on that. So what can we do about it? They created the K3 visa with the intention that people who are waiting on spouse visas could get this other type of K visa for people who are already married, and then they would be able to come in faster also. Just like many things with the government, that's a great idea, but based on the execution by the government and the bureaucratic hell that they have created on how to get it, it's currently not going to help you at all, unfortunately. So I hate to tell you that, but really, if you are going to be trying to get a K3, I mean, I haven't seen a K3 issued in, I don't know, like 7 years or something. It's just not currently, they don't help because the way the process works to try for a K3 visa is that you have to first apply for the first step of a spouse visa. So you would actually file your I-130, and then you have to wait till you get the receipt back from that, and then you file for the K3. And so what happens is, based on the way that they run those two petitions, the even though the I-130 petitions are taking like 6 to 8 months, they're still beating the K3 petitions. And so at that point, the government just kicks out your K3 application, says K3 application denied because because you've already gotten further along in the process with this other case. And then they just close that case entirely, even though you're still at the very beginning phase of the spouse visa. So I don't want to get too much into the weeds about why that technically happens, but I just want you to know that there's not a secret, awesome thing called a K3 that you probably noticed lawyers have not been talking about it. It's not something that's presented when you consult with someone. And that is why, because people who know and who have done this and who are working on this just know that it exists legally, but in reality, it's just not a thing that people are actually getting right now, unfortunately. So that's why we're not recommending it. So I just really wanted to clarify that, and hopefully maybe at least that gives you a little peace of mind that really, if you're in a traditional fiance visa or spouse visa route, it really is the best and only way to do this right now, or adjustment of status under our current laws. So don't worry, we're lobbying Washington, D.C. every year, though, to try to get them to make better systems for all of you all. We try to hit it from both sides. So I know it's frustrating, though.